Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is Wednesday evening, and let's see what the market was looking like. Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, Meta were all down at the end of the day. Even Oracle, Apple was still up. Amazon was up. So we'll see what's happening with them. The Mag 7, Big Cap, SPY, everybody else. Crypto is ripping, just as I've been telling you guys. So let's get into it. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. I hope everybody had a great day. And here is what the heat map looks like. Let's just go through the news real quick. Why people are hopping on the yen gains, Asian stocks tepid after rate cut bets. I don't even know what the word tepid means. I have no idea. World equities hit record highs and U.S. yields fall on optimism for Fed rate cut. And how are you, Cadence, and everybody else? How you doing this evening? Luis Rodriguez, we rocked it today, that's for sure, especially with that BLSH and the BSLK. They were big ones right there. We mentioned this bullish, and it shot up right there today. It was going pretty wild. And also the Bolt Projects right here was a big runner. It ran like over 700%. Laptop Travel mentioned it in the Discord this morning, and then it went wild. So there you go with them, and tons of big runners. And like I said, we're just getting started in the Discord. It's going to get wild, guys. You can already see it, and look at what crypto's doing. And I've been telling you guys, crypto's going to get ripping, and here it goes. So let's look at the rest of the market and see what's happening. World equities hit record highs. U.S. yields fall on optimism for Fed rate cut. Did I read that? Some Fed officials urge patience amid markets rate cut euphoria, and stock futures are a little changed as investors await for more inflation data because the PPI is tomorrow, and why a jumbo Fed rate cut in September would come across as panicky. I don't think they should really do a huge one. A 0.25 would be perfect. They don't need to go crazy. They did one like a 0.50 right before the election. I remember. I didn't go back and look and see if it was right before it or two before it, but I do remember them doing one like that. And I had even said they did it to mess with the market because if Trump had won, and I think they had already known it was a wrap right there. We talked about it back then. But how are you, Doge Mama 9 and Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez, Cadence, everybody else hanging out? How are we this evening? And let's go through and see what our market looks like. It wasn't bad. Obviously, a little bit of pullback for the Mag 7. Apple is still going up. And this market's going to be ripping. I can tell you that right now. Even the SPY had a hard time coming down here. As you can see, it was still up over that trend, and it did get into bubble territory. And look at this bad boy setting up, guys. I mean, a lot of support down here. It would really have to fall down, and I doubt we're going to see a 589. We could see like the 610 area, but I don't even know if we're going to see that. We have to see because it's crossing through that MACD right there, as you can see, but in a spot where it can pull itself back. So you have to wait until tomorrow when we see that PPI report come out. It will be interesting, but the market has shaken off everything else, so we could definitely see a shake off with that. There's Robin. How are you? Took a few days off, and people are making money. People, you should don't stay away, Robin. You'll be fine. I don't know if you saw, I mentioned you last night, as a matter of fact, because that RBNE is getting set up really, really nice right here. And so is this oil and gas. I don't know what the heck is going on with it, but that's a beautiful setup. And again, I was saying, sometimes I'm a little early. That thing looked really good, and it obviously tricked me and came back down right there on that beautiful setup, as you can see right around there. It was beautiful, and it pulled back. But and when they do that, I'm never upset about it. It just happens. But I know if that setup looked great, it's gonna pop off. I know we just have to be a little patient. You can find the bottom, which was right there at that. Well, this is Gush right here, and this bottom was right there at that 2090. But even RBNE was doing the exact same thing right here, and that's the one I thought I was looking at, but we knew the bottom was right there around 160. I couldn't remember, 163 area, and this is curling up, and it should get through right here. It looks pretty healthy, and your 20s coming down. So oil and gas looking good. And again, I know I was definitely early. I'm usually early on it, but they just looked like they were setting up for something a little quick, and then the market just slowed down right after that. And but we didn't lose faith in them. We just go through them and find out where the bottom is, so we know when they're ready to go back up, and we can keep an eye on them. This ORIS, this is still looking pretty decent right here. Ran up the other day over 100%, and now it's just got that bounce around look, and it's trying to get out of the basement. It will get out and run right there. So there you go with ORIS, and we'll cruise right through our list and see what you guys want to see. And I'll look at them right now. Cadence GLXY, that Galaxy Digital right here. That one I remembered run up not bad. And this is still a pretty nice setup. Another one just pulling back. And a lot of these guys that ran up are absolutely pulling back, but they're not pulling back hard. As you can tell, it's a slow, easy pullback. And look at all the room they're making on the chart right there. So another one just kind of has that healthy pullback, making room on the chart and getting set up right here. You can see it. So the Galaxy Digital, it's in a bullish trend right there and not looking bad. NRGTI right here. Let's look at it. They definitely had their earnings. What was it, yesterday? Didn't they have them yesterday? I believe. Yeah, they had them yesterday. I don't know what happened, but today it did look pretty good, and it was crossing through. And I know we've been all over RGTI for a while, and look at that run up 1560 to 1816, and it's at 1709 and hitting the MACD, and looks pretty strong right there going through. So you probably have some momentum on RGTI tomorrow, so we can keep an eye on that one right there. And what else was there? GRYP, and that's on our list anyway. And Griffin Digital Mine, like I said, this guy's getting set up. It ran up today a little bit. I remember I saw it in the 150s. It's at 137, and just let it get set up. You got to wait. It's going to bounce back down probably to the 20, to like the 120 area. Probably might not even get the 120, but in that area right there. And then it's going to get set up and ripping. So that is what we're looking at right there for GRYP, and we'll go right through our list, and then we'll see what we have going on right here. I see you guys talking, and let me see the Fed interest rates cut. It's September 18th, so it was September 18th when they cut it to 0.5. Is that when? And then November 7th. So I remember it was before the election. Obviously, the election was in November, and they were cutting it right up into the election there. I remember clearly, because I was like, what is going on here? And then I remembered I could pull the tape because we were doing shows. And I even said back then it was only to screw with Trump because he was going to win. I think they knew it at that point. I mean, the charts had known it at that point. We were talking about it. But anyway, yeah, I do remember at 0.50, and it wasn't, I don't know what the heck they were doing. But again, it's been politically motivated for a while here, that's for sure. And it should have been cut. But I think a 0.25 is all that we really need, to be completely honest. I don't think you want to see a 0.5. It's too much too fast, and it messes with the market. It does get that panicky way, and it's easier. You can always cut it again. Nobody said you can't cut it the next month or the next time. So I think they have the markets under control. They'll probably do the right things. It's up to Powell, but obviously the pressure's on, and I think Trump's going to basically lead them into exactly what he wants done, and that's what's going to happen. And that Trump article is wild, guys. He put Laptop Travel posted. It's a deep dive into the Trump family's connections and methodology with crypto, and it is crazy. And just follow along with Laptop Travel and his newsletter. It's really good, guys, and it's crazy. And Cadence hates that been missing the move, but gotta rotate out of a few other things. There you go, Cadence. And yeah, I think we're starting to see things really get set up here. And we're going to be, crypto is going to get, I mean, you guys know I've been saying it for a while. You guys know every single time before crypto gets really ripping, I go, crypto's about to pop, and it gets ripping for you. So, and I've been saying it in the night note, and I'm a big crypto guy, and I say find the opportunities that are the best ones, and they will be good. And Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Ripple. I'm telling you, Ripple's about to get ripping. Since we're talking about, then we'll go through our list. Just look at this thing, guys. Bitcoin was at Look at this. It's at 123,000. It was at 124, right? Yeah, 124,005 something. So it keeps going to all-time highs. And look at it. It didn't even get into the top right there. Ethereum is in the top, but it'll run for a while up here and looks really good. Solana's not in the top yet, and that's getting ripping up there, guys. And Ripple is just getting beginning. Holy cow, we're not even crossing the MACD, but look at that look. And Ripple's about to get cruising, guys. So if you want to get in one right before it pops off, you might want to look at Ripple right there. And even Doge doesn't look bad, but I don't think it's going to make a Ripple type move. I mean, it could, but I'm not so sure. I mean, it's not in the overall market. I doubt it's going to do what Ripple does. Ripple's going to get wild, guys. It's a big one. Cardano, I told you I got some of that one. And that one was up big time today, right there. Up, it was up like 10% earlier, so that was looking good. We went through them all yesterday. Stellar was up today, looking pretty good. Chainlink was also up, and I mean, I could went through everything that actually went up and pulled back right there. SUI, remember I showed you this one. This was up like 9-10 cents, even more. That's curling up and looking really good right there. SUI and Litecoin was even up. It pulled back a little bit, but Optimism was also up right there pretty big at one point, you can see, and that thing's cruising along. So there you go with your crypto look. And I know ETF was at 1.1, and that goat one or sheep one, whatever the heck it is way down, guys. I mean, that thing is doing, oh, I have it right here. I had it up so I could look at it. That thing went to like a 30 million plus market cap, and it's back at 2.5 in a matter of like, I mean, you're talking minutes. It was the wildest thing, and I was literally watching it happen yesterday. I don't know why it's not showing me the chart, but whatever. And let me see, where was ETF at? I think it's at 1.1 still. And I'll tell you what though, yeah, it's at 1.1. And I was telling my one buddy that's big way into it too. The chart on ETF could definitely turn around. You know how OCGN did it for us? I don't know why I can't get them to pull up here, but anyway, I know looking at it, and I pulled it up and just looked, it could get turned completely around and start pulling around and go bullish. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if it just happens to do that, and that would be really good for us and start to roll up with the bubble and everything else. So, and ETHU has been on steroids right there. We've been mentioning it, and it just keeps popping up higher and higher and higher. So there you go with ETHU, and that one's moving. So there you go. And Caden says they're her next two stocks to enter. And what about Tesla right here? TSLA and Tesla, I'm telling you, is getting set up. Let it pull back. You're about to see some pullback after that run up. It appears. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but it looks like it could pull back a little bit. And yeah, I guess Kathy Wood's dropping a bunch of money on Tesla. It's going to run pretty big. We already know that. It looks really good right there. So there you are with them. And here we go. Let's keep on cruising right through our list, and then we'll go back through the SPY, Mag 7, big caps, and all them, and see what everybody's doing. This Raya, we'll have to see what it does tomorrow. It should have got moving right around today. So we'll see if that's a little dip and rip look right there. And if not, we might have to drop that to the bottom of the list right there. Let me type GIBO in right here. And here is GIBO. And this bad boy is trying to get set up. You see that weird look right there? I was watching it today. It was up a little bit, then it came down a little bit, but it doesn't look bad. So I'm telling you, keep your eye on this one, GIBO. And that QH will just do it right now. This is another penny one right here, China small cap. And this one is getting set up, guys. So I'll be keeping an eye. It looks like it bottomed out down there at about 9 cents. That area right there, we're in the tens, high tens. And QH does not look bad. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that curl up right there. So watch for that one. And Open Door. This one did pull back a hair today. Nothing crazy, just a little slight pullback as it's getting there. And it might not even get through the MACD. Might have a little bit of pullback. And if it does, again, it's just getting set up and slowly stepping down easily so it can make more room on the chart so it can run up higher. So that is what Open Door looks like right there. And QMCO is running up today, looking pretty good. We'll go through the other quantum and computer hardwares as we did last night. But remember, I was saying that could be the bottom right there last night at 690. And I think it was. It ran right up to 8 and curled right up, had a nice curl up right there for QMCO. So keep your eye on this bad boy tomorrow because it's not looking bad. We already looked at our GTI and it was moving up today. And like I said, a lot of these were looking pretty good. We went through them last night. QUBT had pulled back. Quantum Computing, I'd say let it sit there until the earnings. So that has earnings coming up tomorrow. So we'll look at that one tomorrow. And QBTS is that D wave, and that thing is getting set up right there. And that looks like it could get cruising any day now. So keep your eye on QBTS. And of course, our Quantum Defiance, whatever ETF right here, Defiance Quantum ETF, that's getting set up. Look at that. It almost looks like the SPY, except it's not over the support or the resistance, but you know damn well it's going to right now. So that one looks good. And so, you know, the other ones are going to be moving. IONQ right here, a little bit of healthy pullback. Let it come back a little bit more, and it can get blasting off that trend line right there. And how about that ZSPC? That was not doing a whole lot today, as you can see. And we had said anyway, wait for the earnings, and they are tomorrow, right? Yep. So we're waiting for tomorrow anyway to look at that one, and we'll see what's happening. And how about what is it? RCAT, RCAT right there. And this is Red Cat. This is an aerospace and defense one. And this one wasn't looking bad. I noticed it today. So there you go with some of the quantum and computer hardware ones, and they are not looking bad. And let's keep on cruising right through because Lockheed Martin was looking great today. As you can see, up $11, looking good. And we did like that. And it looks like it's going to keep that momentum tomorrow, is what Lockheed Martin looks like to me. And UNH, guys, is not looking bad right here. And that was up as well. And we knew it was going to keep rolling. And another one that looks like it will keep the momentum. And even Lulu, guys, we were looking at these, and that one was looking good. Remember, we said it got down to the bottom. And I think Lulu is going to keep that momentum right there. I know it's probably somewhere on the list, but I know we were looking at this prior and talking about it, and that thing looks pretty good right there. How about Oscar right here, OSCR? That just took a little tiny pullback, but it's still getting set up. Nothing crazy. Even if it pulls back, it'll want to roll off that MACD. So you'll get that to crawl back up, and that won't be a big deal right there. And that GRYP we did look at. Whoop, let me click on it. And we did look at it, hitting a little resistance right there. But I'll tell you what, this thing's getting set up, guys. Just like crypto, like Laptop Travel was saying in his newsletter right there. It's really good and it's really crazy. So I'll read it again because I read it, but you know, it takes me a time or two to read things, maybe 3 to really catch the gist of it. Because sometimes I just read things and they become words to me. I'm telling you, I'm like retarded, guys. It's crazy, and I'm not ever kidding with you. And so I'll read it again just because I don't want to misquote anything or say anything wrong. That's why sometimes I don't really mention a whole lot of it unless I have the notes in front of me, and just because I don't want to get the information wrong. And you know, my brain doesn't operate 100% anymore after getting hit in the head real hard. But hey, we do what we can do, and we have a lot of fun doing it. But that's why I don't always quote the articles, because I can't always remember. It's a lot of information, and when I start looking at them, sometimes I'm just like, holy cow! I know what it's saying, but I don't follow along with like all the numbers and things of that nature. But it's really well done, and it's great information. Trust me, I just look at charts more than anything. And again, you know what my brain injury is like. So it's not a reading's not my top skill anymore. I'm not going to lie, but I actually do like to read them because it helps me. And I need to practice reading. Obviously, it's something I'm not good at anymore from getting hit in the head real hard. And I do struggle with it. So I try to read the articles to help me, and they are really good. I'm not going to lie, but again, sometimes I have to read them like 2 or 3 times, especially if I want to like relay the information, then I have to like take notes. So that's the reason why I don't laptop travel on everybody. But yeah, That's you need to put more pictures and charts in your articles. You don't need to, but they make it easier for me. I'm like a little kid. I need the books with the picture books, and they work well with me. Um, so yeah, I like Llama Llama books. They're real easy to read to my little guy, and now he's way past Llama Llama, and he's practically reading bigger books, and I'm like struggling with Llama Llama, and there's like 5 words on a page. I'm telling you, you can see when I read the news, the headlines. I sometimes I really struggle with it, and so yeah, it's just one of them things. Again, I was perfectly good at reading before, and it's just one of them things from getting hit in the head really hard, but I'm not complaining about it. I just try to practice a little better, a little bit more, and try to get better at it. And again, I just don't want to misquote the articles because they are really good articles. And Cadence even said definitely amazing articles, very helpful and informative. Sure to appreciate them. And like I say, I like them too. I just have to read them a couple times because it's a lot of good information. And my brain just doesn't compute. Like I told you guys, if I was a fundamental person, it wouldn't work for me anymore. That's for sure. I can look at these charts. It doesn't bother me. A candlesticks and this. I mean, I can look at it for 3 seconds, and know exactly like Pew looks really good right here. And but yeah, give me a bunch of information like that and forget about it. I'm lost in space. And it is what it is. But anyway, so yeah, I do enjoy the articles, and honestly, I use them as another training exercise for my brain. But I do find them very interesting and informative, of course. So a lot of great information. And obviously, I go and look at the stock charts whenever he's talking about the stock tickers. I just pull up the charts and look at everything and see what it looks like because that's what I base everything off of. But anyway, that is the Laptop Travel newsletters, and they're really good. And PEW, I'm telling you, is getting set up in another one of these Trump companies right here, guys. And it did run up for us the other day. And look at this thing; it looks pretty good for tomorrow. So I would keep an eye on that PEW. PSQH had a nice dip right here yesterday. And then today, I forget, was it bouncing back a little bit? It had bounced, I thought, a little bit. Let me look at this chart because that doesn't give us the real showing. Yeah, it was bouncing back up. I remember I saw it. It got down to 160 and it did get back up to 180. It's at 170 right now. So not looking too bad, but I think it is bottoming out, and that is a beautiful dip right there. And remember, we said we were going to wait for the earnings to see what was going to happen, and that's why a lot of times I don't like to play the earnings. I mean, I would have bet that thing would have jumped up on earnings, but again, I can't tell. The position of it looked really good. It was setting up, and then the next thing you know, it takes this huge dip, and now you have a way better opportunity and buying opportunity for it. And maybe even it goes into the basement. We'll keep an eye on it and see if it really wants to bounce. It may not even do that and stay down there for a hair, and then we can just kind of let it run its course, find the bottom, and then catch it on its way up. And that's what we love to do here. So we'll be keeping an eye on that PSQH. And that's why we have to be patient with things. And that Capital is another one setting up. And I'm pretty sure the Trump family has something to do with this one. And another one, look at that. It was setting up right there. Really nice pullback and hitting that trend line right there. So Pew rumors circulating that it may announce a crypto treasury tomorrow during the earnings call. I'm giving you notice now. So there you go, Laptop Travel saying it. And I'm telling you, the chart looks like it very well possibly could happen, guys. I'm not going to lie. And I did buy some of it. I've been telling you guys it was looking good. It ran up, and I even said it bottomed out again. And it is curling up looking pretty good right there. So I would be keeping an eye on our PEW right there. We'll definitely look at AMD, Camden Evans. How are you this evening? And we'll definitely look at that when we go over to the big cap side. Let me run right through our other list right here, our smaller caps and other ones, and then we'll get over there. So yeah, PEW guys, I could see them announcing a crypto treasury. I mean, go figure. Trump's on the board. One of the Trumps are on the board. They bought up a crypto company. It's all kinds of crypto stuff going on. Grab a gun, and it is crazy. So I would keep an eye on it. That's for damn sure. Down 40% post IPO, and the small cap is buying back 20 million shares. And Yeah, I mean, guys, they're manipulating it. And remember what I said when it got, because it was what CLBR it was, I believe, and it merged with something else and made this one. I never liked it the day it opened. It didn't never look good with that candle. Because remember, it opened up at like $23. It gapped up there 21 at the high, 21 it was, and it never looked good. And then it just started getting sold off. And here we are, and now we're getting ready to run it back up. So that is what we're looking at with our PEW, not looking bad. NCPL we just looked at. Gush we looked at earlier. And again, oil and gas doing something right there, Robin. And here is RBNE. And we went through this one earlier as well. And this one's getting set up. Look at that big curl up right there. You do have that resistance at 250, but this thing, that's where the 20 is going to meet it. So that's at a good spot right there. And I'm not sure what's happening with oil and gas, but some of them are already running, guys. And we had seen some things starting to run CLCO, and I had noticed a few of them because I just kind of scrolled down, and some of them were already moving up or popping up there, setting up GEL. This one was looking pretty good. That one wasn't too bad right there. So there was a bunch of them that were looking pretty good. And I'm telling you, we were just early on oil and gas. Something was going on there. And we'll be keeping an eye on RBNE. And TMDE is another one that we like right here. And that thing, look at that setup, guys. I mean, you don't think that thing's going to get rolling right there? Look at that bad boy. That bottomed out the other day for TMDE. So you might want to keep an eye on that one as well. I got to jot that down because that one looks really, really good right there. And so keep an eye on that. Trumps are tying all these companies together in laptops research. He's wait, hold on. It just jumped. In his research, he also learned that Trump was behind the Meta Planet's rise, which Meta Planet was another crypto company. Where it was at in Taiwan or something, laptop travel. I forget where it's at. And yeah, the Trump article states what you're about to read is not just a financial expose, it's a financial thriller. Yeah, it's a wild story, guys. And like I said, you definitely want to check it out because it's crazy. Buy crypto because the president and all of his family and their businesses, etc., are all loading up on it. I promise you. And that's what I've been noticing. And it's not too late. I think I'm actually going to be buying more of it, guys, to be completely honest with you. I'm like, holy cow, I think you can't have enough of it right now between Bitcoin, Ethereum. Metaplanet was in Japan. There you go. I couldn't think of it. Japan, thank you. And yeah, they were behind that, pumping up and getting crazy. That's a crypto thing, the biggest one in Japan. They got their hands in crypto, guys, and they're going to make trillions in crypto. Trust me. And none of it's even, you can't even trace any. I mean, you can, but it's not even going to be taxed. They're just going to make so much money. Remember, I was saying last night how all these politicians come in and they figure out ways to make a ton of money. Well, they're going to do it just in different ways with crypto because there's literally like no regulations and they kind of make the rules as they go along and they have it set up that they're just making tons of money, guys. So follow the money if you want to make more money. And so yeah, it's all in crypto right there. But I'm gonna say oil and gas is getting set up right there, and let's keep on cruising right through and go right through our list like OCGN. That's getting set up, guys. Look at that thing, and it's just kind of hanging out today, looking pretty good as that setup. And BMNR, little bit of pullback, had run up. See if it does pull back a little bit right here, but probably not too much. It still looks pretty good. Good old SBET was running up today and looking pretty good as well. This thing looks like it's ready to start soaring again. Remember, I mentioned this one the other day, and I think SBET is about to get rolling again. So keep your eye on that. And your UPXI right here, they have a bunch of Solana. So let's see what they're doing. And that was up some more today. And I had mentioned this last night and the small cap show. So there you go for UPXI running up right there and not looking bad. Has some resistance up here at about 9 something. So just be careful with that. And let's take a look and see what Coors is doing. CORZ right here. And let's see what Coors is up to. It was dipping down. I did see it, and it had been running up pretty well for us. It looked good to continue up, and it did dip down. Not sure exactly what happened, but still not in a bad spot right there. But we will keep an eye on this one, as it was looking a lot better yesterday. I can say that. And that is dipping down a little bit. That core weave took a big dip too. CRWV right here. This one took a monster's dip and is coming back down. I don't know what happened with their earnings, but I guess they weren't beautiful. Have no idea, but definitely pulled back there with core weave. And let's see what Uber's doing right here. And I'm kind of just jumping around. Sorry, I skipped XXI and a few other. But Uber just pulling back as well. But that's getting set up, guys. So you can find honestly, it's crazy when they look like they want to pull back, they run up it right now, and when they look like they want to pull run up, they pull back. It's almost like the opposite effect happens that day. So yeah, that's like when they do, they look like they're going to pop up and continue. That's when they pull back right there, and then when they look like they're going to pull back some more, they run right back up. So I've been noticing that trend as well. And here is XXII right here. And remember, guys, I told you this thing was going to get cruising, and it just had its earnings right there. Oh, it has its tomorrow. But remember, I was saying it looked good going into its earnings right there. And there you are with XXII. And it was looking good yesterday going in and tomorrow's earnings, and it still looks pretty good. And LLYY right here is Lilly Ellie. I keep wanting to say Ellie Lilly. And we had this one now down. This one was a good one, LLYY. And that one could keep some momentum right there. It looks like it wants to curl up anyway. So I would definitely keep an eye on it, even if it doesn't really curl up hardcore tomorrow. It's going to stay set up and continue to move. So there you go, LLI or LLY. And this OST right here is kind of just bouncing around, but it was curling up today, looking much better right there after the split. Remember, I was saying keep your eye on that. And that's up 13% and wants to cruise up a little bit. So there you go at OST and this TTEC. Remember, I told you guys, this thing just keeps wanting to rip up there and it's going to continue. There you go. I said, it doesn't even have that much volume, 351,000 in volume, and it went up 6%. And it was just all about the chart right there. I'm telling you. It's just one of them things. I said it last night. It only had what 600,000 yesterday, 351 today, and it ran up like that. And it just you could tell it was going to run up. It was an easy one right there for TTEC. And that's all you have to do is listen to the show. And again, in the Discord, we're going to really get trading everything that's perfect, like the best setups that are easy and rock and roll, price actions, everything with them and make it easy. And those of you in the Discord, let me know what you think of the night note. I changed it around a little bit last night, tried to make it a little easier, and I'll ask everybody what they think and what you guys want to see. That's what I'll give you, and what makes it easier for you guys to hit the winning trades and pick the profit ones. So that's what we will I'll focus on in the Discord. Like I said, that is the main focus. Just kind of finishing out the end of summer here and enjoying the last couple weeks. And I do travel next week. So like I said, how do you get into the Discord, Camden? I'll post a link. Do you have X or it's YouTube's weird. I don't even know. Does it even have I have to go over here real quick. Hold on 1 second. I have to check. I don't even know. Yeah, so on my YouTube page, right, there's a link tree, and the link there on my YouTube page at the whatever it's called, like under my picture and all, and the link tree article link right there. Click on that, and if you just go right to the bottom link right there, it says Dougie Fresh Picks Discord. Click to get there, and that'll show you all the different pricing, the different things that you can choose from. Like each month is obviously priced differently and stuff like that. So any questions, you can always hit me up, Camden, on X as well. So if you're not following along on X, be sure to follow along on X, because I do respond to everybody on there. It's just way easier to respond. I don't even know how to send a message on YouTube, to be honest with you. They don't make it easy to communicate on there, but X is easy. So I do talk to everybody on X, and so any questions about Discord or anything else, just hit me up and ask. And yeah, Laptop Travel's been firing it off at 4 a.m., crushing it in there. Luis Rodriguez, some really good calls. And like I said, we're going to really just nail it down. And then Kyle's starting too. And he said he's starting up tomorrow in there. So it's getting crazy in there. And Ben's always on fire, the Godfather. And we're just making it a lot of fun. And like I said, my objective is so that we all just build our accounts and everybody has a good time and it's easier to do. So that's what we're really going to be focused on. So like I said, just wait until the end of summer here, another week or two. And then I'm telling you, this market, we could get really in the bubble territory, guys. And we are going to have a lot of fun together. You know that. And crypto is going to do it. So regardless, we're going to be trading crypto nonstop. I'll even tell you all the poppers and everything else. And we can just honestly, if you just want, I already have them up right here. Look at this. The crypto up. Let me see. Hold on. Because I know the crypto is like the 900 ones, I believe. Yup, there you go. So there's our crypto list right there. And we could go through this each night. I'm telling you, there's so many great setups in crypto. You just have to go through, find the USD ones. I don't look at the Europe or the GBD, but things like this. And I just cruise right through and find out what ones are looking good. And these ones are so easy to trade, guys. I do love crypto. So we will mess around with that as this thing gets crazy. That's for sure. And Laptop Travel said her average win from his overnight watch list was 125%. And the BSLK pick was a 705% winner right there, guys. So there you go. And Kyle's specialty, he does a lot of small caps. So I know he picks a lot of small caps and talks about them. He does a lot of research too. So I just know him from doing this small cap show, and I do pay attention to his picks because I obviously do the show with him. And he's pretty on the money. He doesn't throw out a whole bunch of picks, but he's pretty he pinpoints them in there and he nails them pretty well. So that's what his specialty, I believe, is. But yeah, I think he does more small caps and he works in the space too. So I know he has a lot of inside connections and stuff that he like does talks to people, kind of like how Money Mark knows everybody in the space. And the Godfather, I don't know anybody because I just look at a chart. I don't really know any information that goes on. But I know Kyle does know some information about the companies. He'll always mention one on the small cap show, one or two. And like I said, I'm pretty sure his specialty is small caps. I think it says it on his thing. I'll have to look it up when we get done, but I will definitely let you know. And yeah, BSLK was a bomber today. I'm not going to lie. That was a crazy one. Bolt project right there. We were talking about it this morning, and this thing just kept on running up there. It opened at 315 and got to 1755 right there. And I'm telling you guys, the 4 o'clock Warriors at 4 a.m. in the morning, I'm telling you, is probably the best opportunities all the time. And just because you can get into them, and this is when they're really cruising along. And the markets have changed. We talk about it all the time, how these markets have just changed around with this 4 a.m. trading now. It's just wild. And so, yeah, we're definitely going to be taking advantage of them opportunities as well. Obviously, Laptop Travel has a really good handle on them, and I'm going to be hopping on. I just been traveling around doing some things. I'm like Laptop Travel, traveling around, but he's used to it. I'm not. I'm used to being here and doing everything. He's used to working on a laptop. I'm like, laptop is like my enemy. I think I can do things on them, but I just like a computer, to be completely honest with you. I don't know why, but I just do where my phone works. But yeah, it's so yeah, I'm just kind of cruising around, enjoying the rest of the summer. But we're gonna get killing the market again. I can absolutely tell you that. So let's go through and see what else is going on here. We were talking about this TTEC there, and obviously just keeps running up. You could see that one was an easy one. Soundhound's running up a little bit more. It looks like it wants to continue. Hence, laptop travel. Exactly. That's why you are laptop travel. That's all you do is travel around and work on your laptop. And I literally I need a mouse to work on a laptop. I just like can't even use that bottom thing. It takes me forever. I can never figure out how to click on anything. It drives me nuts. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I'm a mess, right? And but yeah, I just prefer a computer or my phone. It's just way easier between them two. So I can obviously do things on a laptop when I travel, but a week of it's like plenty for me. I'm like, all right, I need to get back to my setup and be good to go. I'm way more used to it, especially my cool trading shed out there is way better setup than trying to use a laptop on the fly. I don't know. I guess I could get used to it if I did it often, but I just don't do it that often. And I just prefer, being in my zone right there. I think I have to be in my zone. So anyway, SXC, another one we were looking at, ran up nice. Not looking bad still, guys. A little healthy pullback there for the coking coal one. And that's not looking bad. And QH we looked at. And how about Datavolt? This one's getting set up right here. It was moving up a little bit. And you can see that one getting curled up there. So keep your eye on DVLT. We went through CRWV or whatever, that core weave, and that took that big old dip. So we'll watch that one dip down. That Chanson looked better than it does now, honestly. It dipped down today. It was starting to set up right there and then pull back a little bit. We'll see. It could easily bounce back off. It's just still over the MACD. A little more pullback. It looked like it was ready to go, and then it pulled back some mobile or whatever. I can't even say it, but we did like this yesterday, and this one crawled up, and it's still looking pretty good. So you can keep an eye on MBLY right there because that's not looking bad. And how about Ample? Remember, I was saying that we were talking about this on the small cap show right here, and Money Market brought it to our attention and said that he liked it. And I told you guys it was probably bottoming out right there. Keep an eye. But yeah, you might get some curl up. And once it gets to that 12 area, it's going to pop up. So that is what Ample looks like. How many are on our list? Camden, we got, so I post out the list on X and StockTwits if anybody anyone new tuning in right now, that's where the list comes from. And some nights, Camden, we used to do like well over 150. I kind of cut it back and just kind of stick to like what's really setting up here, and then take ones off like every week or two and add a couple different ones. And then I take and see what you guys want to look at. But we do like a ton laptop travel as a list, Joey's Jams, and we go through the entire market, obviously crypto, everything. And we usually do the show for like an hour and a half, and I just roll through. Sometimes I talk a little more than other times, but you do want to see what AMD. I will definitely check it out for you right now because we're looking at Ample, and we'll just run right over to AMD because Camden wants to check it out. And we make this show pretty interactive, that's for sure. And AMD, obviously, we've known it looked great, and we said it was going to keep ripping up here, and I don't see it coming down at all. I just see it going to 200 plus, and that's what AMD looks like. And obviously, coming up to your MACD right there. Tomorrow's an interesting day too, Camden. You have your PPI. It's shaking off like everything. CPI, everything else. Everybody's betting on this rate coming down. The rates coming down in September. I mean, I've told you this was happening for over a month now. I think everybody's a little behind on it, but I've been telling you this for 4 months at least that it was just a political bull crap move. And the charts I was telling you guys, I mean, there was no other reason that the rates weren't coming down. And now everybody sees what I was talking about, that's for sure. So yeah, they're betting on these rates coming down, and they are. They're going to pull them back in September, and then they can pull them back September and October, 2 months in a row. And I'm telling you, the market's getting in the bubble territory, and you can throw everything out the window once you hit that. It happened in 99, and the market's just kept ripping. Obviously, you'll have your pullbacks, but you're not going to see your corrections happening. So That's what it looks like is happening, guys, and it's pretty exciting. You can see it happening with crypto. I mean, crypto is actually insane right now, the way it's setting up to run, and the market looks the same. And then you also have to factor in, and this is what we always do and probably do best. We look at the charts pretty carefully, but then you factor in what the administration really needs to accomplish and what they want to do, and that's how you can really tell. And again, they have midterms coming up that they just want to smoke. They want to blow them out the water. And the only way you blow them out the water is you have the economy running the all-time highs, and that's what they got to do. So they already had to rip it to all-time highs to show everybody that the rates needed to be cut. I told you before, they didn't necessarily want the market up like this with the rates not being cut. It was it would have worked out better for the American people, clearly, if the rates were cut down. But Trump, they didn't have a choice. Powell wanted to play games, so Trump went like this, snapped his fingers, and now you see a market just absolutely insane. And now you're going to see the rates getting cut because of the pressures on, but that's just going to fuel this fire and make it jump up more. Yeah, and then you have the AI recipe going on and everything else. I mean, we made $27.7 billion in July in tariffs. And like I said, that was insane, guys. That's a lot of money to bring into the country right there. It's more than the entire administration probably made last time. So for 4 years straight. And they Trump did it in 1 month just using tariffs, and everybody thought that was going to hurt the country. Look at these charts, guys. I don't think anything's hurting these charts or the country. They have this master plan, like I said, and you just got to trust them, and they just have it carried out. Where's it going tomorrow? That's hard to tell because, again, you have your PPI coming out. So I am not exactly sure. It could pull back. You're in that spot right there where you could pull back into your 160 area, 170s, 160s. But overall, you're setting up to get crazy. And you can see it curling apart on the MACD, curling apart at the top right there. It looks really good to try to get up, but it's all just sitting there waiting on that PPI report in the morning, and I guess a good tweet or something else. But yeah, you can see it's a good coin flip right there for AMD, and that's what it looks like at the moment there, Camden. But you can bet it's going to keep cruising up as our weeks go on, and that will be good. And when we would see the corrections with the market continuing to climb, when would we see them? You're not even really going to see huge corrections, Robin. I don't think. Um, it kind of passed that moment where it was going to do it, and we were talking about the pullbacks, and it just kept. It's the recipe. It just keeps ripping. You had earnings season that came in, then things they kept ripping during earnings. They keep ripping during he pauses the 90-day tariffs on, or gives a 90-day pause on tariffs or China, and then the market pops up like that. He did it right before the CPI on Sunday, and CPI was Monday, and then it just the market's ripped up, and you have a 190 call on AMD and thinking of putting something on Tesla 400. Oh yeah, Tesla, you're gonna blast right through that with no problem. Tesla's gonna rip. I'm telling you, everything. These things are gonna get monsters, guys. You can already see it. Tesla's gonna be way up here in the 450s. So yeah, you're gonna be up there. And 190, you're gonna surpass that. I'm not sure when your 190 call expires, but if you have it for at least a month or two, you're definitely good. You're gonna get into the top. You just don't know if it's gonna bounce in there tomorrow, just depending on the market conditions and again the PPI. And like I said, the next 2-3 weeks are basically setup weeks. It's still running up, but they are kind of setup weeks. You could see a little bit of pullback here, and that's about it. And then, like I said, I think your markets are going to be ripping, and obviously we'll be checking them out every single day. And they expire the 22nd, and today is the 13th. You should be pretty good with that. I don't see them not getting up there. AMD right there, so you should be pretty good. Watch it early tomorrow because you might have that pop up early there, Camden, and then obviously if they're expiring pretty soon, be sure to get out of it. Take the money and roll it into your Tesla or whatever else you want to roll it into right there. But yeah, Robin, I don't think we're gonna see huge corrections. You're just gonna see some pullbacks, and like I said, these next 3 weeks are more or less some setup period. And when we go through the SPY and big caps and Mag 7, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. You can even see right here, you have time to set up. So it can bounce around anywheres in here why this thing's getting set up. But I mean, that's a bullish trend right there. So it's looking good for AMD. So there you go, Camden. And welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out. And like I said, follow along on X and YouTube here and Instagram and all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm going to really start posting new stuff on Instagram as well. And so, yeah, I have a few ideas for that. Just getting things set up and making things better and ready for the for really at the end of summer, because it's going to get amazing, guys. And it takes me a couple extra weeks to always do something. I'm not going to lie. And those of you that listen, though, and those of you that just are tuning in, I suffered a major brain injury. I got hit with a 10-ton jack with the pressure of a 2-story house right there 2 years ago. And I was floating through energy. It's a crazy story. There's a video online if you want to check it out. But I talk about it all the time. And so, yeah, it's sometimes I go, I can do this tomorrow. And I forget that I just don't have the same wits about it that I used to have before I got hit in the head real hard. So it takes me a little longer sometimes to do things that I like. But again, I get them done. That's for sure. It just takes me longer than I kind of like to do things, but whatever. Like I say, I'm blessed to be alive, so I guess I can't complain too much, right? And so there you go, Camden, and the rest of everybody. Let's cruise right through, see what else is going on here. We were looking at Ample. That Viking was looking good last night, and Viking was up today right there, 3%, 3.5%, and it's not looking bad in the top right there to try to run up a little bit higher for Viking. Signet was looking good, Luis Rodriguez, and that still looks like it wants to keep some momentum right there. So keep an eye on that. And this Xena right here is getting set up, not looking bad. It was down a little bit, but look at that setup. So keep an eye on Xena right there, Zena, and Lulu right there. We were talking about it. That's up, looking good. And that one looks like it's going to be a momentum play. And Adobe's another one, guys, that we were looking at and went up right there, ADBE, and that popped up there, and it's looking really good. So that's setting up and could be a good momentum play. And of course, our BLSH, this was a new IPO, and this thing ran like a monster, guys. It's called Bullish right here. It's a capital market in Cayman Islands. Laptop Travel, he tried to get into it before, and I don't think he was able to get any shares because they had like a pre-buy or something like that, and he wasn't able to get into it. But this thing did shoot off there. It opened at 90, went up to 118, and now it's at 75.60. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. It could pull back a little bit. That looks like one of them ones that was like a nice pump in the morning there too, but we'll look at it, and let's take a look and see what VSTM is looking like. Veristream, and that one's in the top. We'll see. I don't know. It could be topped out there, right? And it did pop up in the air. Let's see. VSTM. I don't know. It does look pretty good right there. It closed at 910. I would say we'll look at that in the morning. VSTM. It does look a little bit better than it's showing right there. And again, it doesn't show you the after hours candle. So when I looked over and saw it bounced up, and then you see it here, it does look pretty good. So that could be a little momentum play as well for VSTM right there. So let's go through, see what our laptop travel list looks like. Last night's list was real nice. I went through them, and a few of them were up, and a lot of them are setting up to look really good. And let's look at ATER right here, Aterian, and they did have earnings. And what was it today? I believe the 13th. Yes, they did. And that one's just hitting that resistance, but watch when this gets set up in the next few days, guys. It's going to be pretty good, so we want to keep an eye on that one. It is setting up in a good spot. What was that one? BLIV, that's it. I knew. I looked at it. BLIV, BLive Holdings, and look at this thing rolling up off the 20 right there. Not looking bad for BLIV. And BNRG right here. Why can't I click on that? BNRG, Brent Miller, we look at this often, and this is a renewable one, an energy guy, and this one is starting to roll up. Remember, we were looking at it, it was pulling back. Well, Brent Miller is looking way better now. I know people were liking this one before, had been pulling back, but is looking good now, so you keep an eye on that. FLD is Fold Holdings right there, Capital Market. They just had their earnings the other day, yesterday, and that thing's getting set up. So a lot of really good ones right here. GUER. Let's see what that's up to at the moment. What was this one? I don't know if I even looked at that one. I'm not sure if that one even pops up. What did I put? GUER. I'm not even sure what that one is, actually. I didn't even look at that one. Holo right here, MicroCloud. And let's see, that one was running up yesterday, kind of just a little healthy pullback right there. And they could be running up some more, obviously. A China one that has some Bitcoin. Everybody has Bitcoin now. And a treasury. So that is Holo, HOLO. And IBIO, let's look at that one. We looked at it last night. Remember, it wasn't looking so healthy last night, to be honest. And then all of a sudden, look at that bounce up. We just happened to look at it because we were looking at OBIO, and I said that looked way better. And I guess I was wrong about that. I'm not going to lie, because OBIO went down and IBIO flew up right there. So how about that for you guys? And look at that. We just happened to click on this one. So if anybody was watching it in the basement, I was going to keep an eye on it. I didn't think it was just popping up there. I don't know. They didn't even have any news or anything, not to my knowledge. But that was a nice bounce up on IBIO right there. That's for sure. And let's look at RENT right here. Good old rent. And let's see, RENT. I can't type it in, but if I do, it'll come up like that. And it was up today. Someone's paying their rent because that's curled up pretty nice. Looked like it bottomed out. Looks like it wanted to run up some more. So you keep an eye on RENT. JAGX was running up. Remember, that was looking good yesterday. That was up like 10% right there. And that's curling up and not looking bad. So we can keep an eye on the good old JAGX. And we can look at Cheetah. That one wasn't looking bad yesterday. It had been running up. Didn't really keep that much momentum. More or less kind of some healthy pullback right there. Nothing crazy. But the Lion, that one wasn't trying to curl up that hard. But look at that thing ran up right there. I thought it was just getting set up. And it ran up right there today. So you can keep an eye on the Lion. And like I was saying earlier, the ones that look like they want to pull back, all of a sudden they run up, and the ones that are while they're setting up, and the ones that look like they want to run up, they pull back a little bit. So you got to kind of keep that in mind right now. And I think that'll last for another couple weeks while these bad boys get set up. And that was the Cheetah, Lion, and JAGX. And let's keep on cruising through the laptop travel list. And I think it was like Jasper was there, maybe JCT something. What the heck did I even write? I thought Jasper was on the list, but maybe not. I know it was last night. JCTC right here. That one's a little bit of pullback. Says it was running up in the after hours. Now I have to see that. Just a little bit of pullback. I'd have to look at that one tomorrow. AQOKUR. Hold on. Can't say it or type it in. So there you go. OnCure Therapeutics earnings right there yesterday or so. Yep. And that thing jumped up today. So a lot of these are doing their earnings and then jumping up. And that's why I don't like earnings, because you never know. But they seem to be jumping up the next day. And here's Pain Reform. Remember, we've been watching this guy, and this one's curling up really good, that PRFX. So keep an eye on that. That actually does look good right there. So there you go with your laptop travel list. And let's look at ABVX real quick and see what that's doing. ABVAX. And it looks like a shell company right there. What the heck did this thing do? Was it really down at $10 and then shot up like that? Let me see. 10 something, and it just gapped up. I don't even know what happened to this thing. Something weird. It looks like a shell company to me, actually. Something strange with it. I know that. ABVX. I don't know. I'd have to look at that tomorrow, but it looks like it could be pulling back. I have to see what the is it a merger or something? I can't exactly tell. Something's weird with it though, right there. Cadence. So I'd have to look at ABVX. Yeah, I'd have to look at that tomorrow and check that out and see exactly what's going on with it. Something odd right there. But let's go ahead and see what our Jolie's Jams are up to tonight. That Agrify had been moving up right there. It was kind of flat. It said it was running up in the after hours. It was jumping around today. I did look at it. You can see it ran up to 35, and right now it's at 30.99. So not bad right there, but could have a little bit of pullback. And good old Blink Charging right here is trying to get set up. Has earnings coming up right there. Weren't they like real soon, August 18th? That is next Monday. That's Monday coming up. Looks like it bottomed out, guys. So keep your eye on Blink. It looks like it's trying to run up there. And Sezzle right here. We're watching this to try to get turned back around. It looks like it tried to bottom out yesterday, and we'll make sure. So that one had been a big run up, big pullback, and we'll see if it wants to run up. And this Sterling right here wasn't looking bad last night, and then that one ran up early and then pulled back pretty big. So like I said, the ones that look like they want to continue up, they are just pulling back. And then as soon as they look like they're going to pull back, they run back up. It's kind of bizarre. So you kind of have like opposites flipping right now. You got to really be patient and know exactly what you're looking at the moment. Here is Rivian getting set up, though, and this bad boy should get moving relatively soon for Rivian. And Symbotic right now is trying to get cruising back up. It still has some pullback look, but it is trying to move. Nike looked a little bit better right there. It looks like it wants to try to crawl up. We'll see if it gets through, but it was running up today. And DXYZ right here is way down, and that's going to be a good setup. I would say just left the 20, catch up to it. It looks like it has a few days right there to move around. And they announced some news, and it jumped up after a halt and bought in at 50 and sold. It's been raging since. And ABVX, yeah, it's that's what happened. They halted it, and then it jumped up. So I could see that. So you got there, and it got up to 69. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I'd be careful with that one right there. But that, yeah, I could see something went weird with it. But that one's a good one. Well, it was a good one for you right there, Cadence. I never even heard of it. I don't think ABVX. I'm not familiar with it anyway. And there you go with your Joe Lee's Jams. Let's roll through and see what our Spy Mag 7 and Big Caps want to do real quick. And then we'll run through the rest of the market, see what you guys want to see. And then we'll wrap it up on a Wednesday evening during the summer. And we'll try to pick out what's looking really good for tomorrow besides crypto, because that looks pretty good right there, I must say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I couldn't get it to go to the 6 and line up all at one time. I was like, can it just do it for a screenshot? Because it would be awesome. And Bitcoin was at 123,456. That's what I was trying to see. So if anyone sees it, definitely take a screenshot, because it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there for Bitcoin. And yeah, look at it, just cruising Solana over 202, Ripple, and everything else. And Solana's my biggest position. I did buy up some Ethereum, Bitcoin. I do have a bunch of Ripple as well. I have Cardano. I told you what I have, so you know that. And crypto is pretty fun, and we'll get really into it as well. And let's keep on cruising right through and see what our Spy Mag 7 and them guys are doing. The Spy was up, kind of bouncing around. Again, it's over that resistance right there at that 640 and 641 area, and it's just getting set up. I don't know if we get into the top tomorrow, but then again, we have a PPI report, and so we could see Trump throw some news out right before that just to soften it and the market pop up. It looks really good, guys, but you could have a little bit of pullback at any moment. So that's the only thing that you have to keep an eye on at this time. And then obviously, as they get set up, they are going to run. Apple looks like it should continue its way up the way it looks right there. It looks pretty good for tomorrow. So that's what Apple looks like at the moment. And Amazon, let's see. Well, how about AstraZeneca? And let's look at that. That looks pretty good too. And that was just making a mistake. AZN, that's a drug maker, and that looks pretty good. But let's look at Amazon, because let's see what they're doing. That was up today, curling back up, and that one's about to get curled up and running soon. So you can see Amazon getting ready to rock and roll. Google had been running up there today early and then started to pull back. It's still in the top. We'll see if it really wants to bounce back up there today. They left them all at a coin flip. Meta was pulling back, but another one getting way set up. You're going to see over 800 on that one with no problem on Meta. And here is Microsoft right here. And this one did pull back to the 20 right there. And it looks like it wants to pull back a little bit more. So remember, I couldn't believe Microsoft was up that much and not pulling back. And the video looks like it could pull back. And they have their earnings at the end of the month, which are going to be interesting because I think it could pull back to get set up for them earnings and they could get really wild. So we will keep an eye on the video at the end of the month. That is for sure right there. But like I said, could have a little bit of pullback at the moment. And of course, Tesla, we've looked at it all the time and it is getting set up. You might have a tiny bit of pullback there to that trend line. That's what it looks like, but it is getting set up at the moment. AMC not looking bad right there, trying to get set up. GameStop was up a little bit, but Chewy was up pretty good. And remember, I told you guys that thing was looking good right there, and Unity was running back up there. So, but remember what I said about Chewy, and that thing did run up. So there you go. And Netflix right here did pull back, but now you got a beautiful trend line, and they thought the bottom was right there as well, at the same spot that I had mentioned. So that's what it looks like. So you can assume Netflix could pull back a little bit, but it will get set up. And here we go. Camden will do the rest of the semiconductors right here. You were asking about AMD. AVGO pulled back. It's still over that trend line, still trying to get into the top. Still doesn't look bad. And again, just they're bouncing around a little bit right here. That's at the beginning of September for the earnings. And they just trying to wrap up the summer as well right here. MU just a little bit of pullback, and again should pull back. You know it'll roll right off that MACD. Look at that. Look, that's in a bullish trend as well. Looking pretty good. And of course, TSM right here is just getting set up a little bit of pullback and just see what it pulls back to. So that is why you just had to be a little bit patient with these. SMCI still getting set up down there. And of course, we went through AMD already. And obviously, we're not sure exactly what it'll do tomorrow, but we know it's going to be pretty bullish going over time. And QCOM keeps running up. We'll see if it continues tomorrow, but that has been setting up, and we did like QCOM. And how about Snow? It was kind of hanging out there. It was moving back up today, and Snow could have been bottomed out there yesterday and could be rolling back up. Their earnings are in the middle at the end of the month, I mean. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, but not looking too bad. And good old PayPal right here was moving back up. And like I said, that's getting bullish, guys. So keep your eye on PayPal. Intel right here, INTC. If I typed it in, there you go. And remember, we were liking it down here, and that continues to move up for us. So that was a good one right there. And let's take a look at good old Dell and see what he's up to tonight, because it was pulling back to that trend line. It's still trying to get rolling, guys. I'm telling you, it's not looking bad right there. I don't think it's coming under the trend line anyway at the moment. IBM had been pulling back, and that was the bottom yesterday probably, and now we're going to get that curl up. So I think IBM's going to be a setup right there. PLTR, we know all about Palantir, and it does like to run. And what will it do tomorrow? It was up today, obviously. Oh, it was running around today. It was up early, then it was pulling back there. It's still in the top and can easily bounce right back up there. So I'm not exactly sure, but Sophie's doing the same thing. It's trying to get into the top, and we have to see what that PPI is looking like for tomorrow morning. And Luis Rodriguez done consulting for AZN, and that was that AstraZeneca. And I can't say it, but there you go. And it's not looking bad right there, that drug manufacturer. So AZN. And here we go with Mara and Riot and CleanSpark, and they were up today, and they are getting set up. Like I said, they're looking pretty good now, but will they be the best opportunities? I'm not so sure. So they are setting up. They will run. We'll pick them out when they're running. You can see them getting set up, but I think there are some better opportunities. MSTR, let's see, it was down. There's your bottom right there, your trend line, and now it has some good support. We were just waiting for that, and that's getting set up. So I'm telling you guys, this market's getting ready to rip. You can just see it. Robinhood is down. Let it pull back. And this is why I'm telling you guys to just be a little bit patient here. There's some good ones ripping. Coinbase, we liked, and that one was pulling up there. And Bull is getting bullish. It's just getting set up. And how about space? That was coming back down to that trend line. And now let that get set back up. Has a couple weeks or a week or two. And Boeing setting back up to try to run up some more. DJT had been setting up. It did run up some more today. And fun always follows it, like I told you. So there you go. And MCD right here was back up hitting the 20 and going to roll right back off the MACD and get rolling again. How about Disney was up again? And that looks pretty good. So I think Disney could get cruising again, Luis Rodriguez. And how about Oxy? And like I said, oil and gas looking real good. Look at that look right there, guys. And ExxonMobil's getting set up as well. So there you go with our big caps mag 7, our Joey's Jams, laptop travel list, everything else. Let me know what you guys want to see, and we'll go through the rest of the market, and then we'll wrap it up and get ready for tomorrow morning. So let's see what else is happening on there. Hope I didn't mean to do that, Cadence, but do you buy your crypto on Coinbase or trade there? I do buy crypto on Coinbase, and I trade on there. So yeah, I use Coinbase for crypto. So that's what I do use for sure, Cadence, and I find it the best. Obviously, the ETF, I had to use the Phantom wallet, and any of the meme coins, you use that, but I use Coinbase for all of my crypto. And how are you, Joe P, this evening? And it's so weird. Your messages always pop up at the top, and I've noticed certain people's pop up at the top, and some come down at the bottom. Maybe it's what time zone you're in, because you're saying like they come in at 2:32 a.m. Where the heck? I thought you were in like PA or something, Joe. I have no idea, but it's the most bizarre thing. Anyway, yeah, Bitcoin 250K and Ethereum 7K coming in the year. I won't doubt it right there. Toyota Motor going to 200. And let's see what else is going on here. We looked at UNH and Galaxy and RGTY and them guys, and we were talking about the Fed interest. And let's see what else is going on. UNH versus HG right there, which is the ETF for it 2 times, and it is cruising up. And obviously, UNH is looking good. You can get the ETF way cheaper, clearly, and this will probably make more on an option, but the UNGH is, or UNHG or whatever it is, UNHG is not a bad one either. So there you go with that, Robin. And so yeah, you can laptop travel, like, and again, you get the UNGH way cheaper. So that's why you would look at that. And UNHG, there we go. Getting confused with the letters, but yeah, you get this thing like way cheaper, guys, and it's leveraged 2 times. So that's the way you kind of rock and roll with that right there. And obviously, up, it's leveraged 2 times. So there you go. And again, you might make more on the actual UNH, but it's going to cost you way more money, and you'll have way more risk involved. And obviously, you're going to do just as well with UNHG with a 2-time leverage right there. So there you go with that one. And let's see, we talked about Pew and PW and possibly rumors tomorrow, and all the Trump companies and that, and LMT is looking pretty good right there. And what else were we looking at? Let me see what else is going on here. And like I said, them corrections are going to be pretty slight, they look like now. So they're not looking like this market's going to pull back a whole lot. And let's see what else is going on. Buy options on the UNHG. I agree right there. Look at it. And it is cruising right along. And if you want to, you compare it to your UNH, because that's what it's going to run with. And that thing is getting cruising. You can see it getting ready to rock and roll right there. So Cadence said you don't have to tell me twice. LOL. So there you go, Cadence, and everybody else. So there you are, Robin, and everybody else. And Laptop Travels UNHG calls were up 175% today. And remember, we were talking about this thing back here. So that is the way to do it right there. You find the bottoms and then you rock and roll them on the way up, and that's what we always like to do on this show. We find where they're at the bottom and then cruise them on up. So and there you go. We already went through the news. Let's see what's going on over here. If we see anything, that MNTS was running up today. Momentus, that aerospace and defense, BSLK. Tilray was running up some more right there. Not looking bad. And Wang and Lee right there still trying to get set up. As a matter of fact, PSKY, Paramount Skydance, and DNN dipping down a little bit right there. AMD. ONDS was kind of pulling back after the run up. BMNR, a little pullback and open, but these things have been running up. RGTI running up right there, and that ATNF, of course, pulling back. Had a huge run up. Intel's looking good, and GIBO not bad. X4 trying to set up. It was running up a little bit there today. And let's see, Plug is setting up right there, guys. Look at PLUG. Good old Plug power, and that could have some power behind it. Apple still running up. And American Airlines looking pretty good right there, I must say. And there's that BLSH, and that Warner Brothers was bouncing back up. And Soundhound not looking bad. SBET and Robinhood was dipping down. So there you go, with a few of them over there. And let's see what's going on over here real quick. Whoop, ADD was pulling back. A big pull back there. Was it today? Yeah, it was today. I remember. MNTS. And this one don't look bad. KFEB, I don't even know what it is. Innovator US Small Cap Power Buffer ETF. Something crazy, but it does look like it's trying to move right there. And some of these are like them weird ETFs. That's why I just skip right through them. And let's see, that's Sonoa, SNOA. That's not looking bad. Sonoma Pharmaceuticals. And look at that Dolphin right there. Dolphin Entertainment. That's getting curled up too, guys. Keep an eye on DLFP or DLPN right there. Laptop Travel and Crew. That's looking pretty good. And let's see, IVG is another ETF one. And good old Swag had run up. So there you go, guys. Big gains for a small move. I would say so on that UNHG. And it is going to continue to move. So there you go. I would say that's a pretty good market review right there. I think we got to everything. And if I didn't, I apologize. But I do think I got to everybody. And let me just see if there's anything trending over on StockTwits, because sometimes there's some really good ones over there. And of course, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And our ADA Cardano is running up. They're mostly crypto right here. That PSKY we just looked at UNH, Bitcoin, BSLK, BLSH, and everything that we've already looked at. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty good market review for this evening. And good night, Robin, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And everybody else, greatly appreciate everybody tuning in, hanging out. And again, after the after Labor Day, maybe a week or so after the kids get back to school and get ready, I'll start doing the show like an hour early. So we'll rock and roll at 8 p.m. and that way we can get done a little bit earlier. And that's why I've been trying to cut the list down so we're not on all night, and give everybody a little break. And so I'm telling you guys, I'm really going to be getting up at the 4 a.m. and trading, because it's absolutely insane at that time. And we need to be hitting them opportunities, of course, and everything else. So we'll be destroying the market, slaying it every which way. You guys know that. So there you go, everybody. And how are you, HB? Buying more ether right there. Yeah, that ETHU is crazy as well. And all of them, I'm telling you guys, we already knew that. I mean, it's in the top now, but a little healthy pullback, and they're just going to keep ripping. And we already know that crypto is going to keep going. And our overnight watch list been posted in the Dougie Picks channel in the Discord. And then I'm going to post my night note as well. And between them, guys, you should have no problem hitting some poppers. And then obviously Ben posts his morning note and everything else going on in there. It's almost like almost too much information, but it's a lot of great information. So it can't be too much when it's great. Once you get the hang of it and know what to look at and where to look and everything else, it becomes pretty simple. And I'll do a thing about that. And also, real quick, I forgot to even mention it. I meant to mention it earlier, but Nader's going to be on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. and go over the Trend Spider. He has a really cool specials and all kinds of good stuff. But we'll go over to Sidekick. I was messing with it today. It's a market intelligence at your command. So he's going to go through that and a couple other things that Trend Spider has that's new, and it's really cool. So he will be on tomorrow night, Nader. So we'll kick off the 9 o'clock show with Nader. We'll let him go through his Trend Spider, and then I'll kind of do like a shortened version. Maybe we'll just go through the big caps, see what's happening on the market side and what's happening real quick, and wrap it up. And then obviously we'll do our pre-market show. So anyone just tune in. We do this show every night at 9 p.m. Sunday nights through Thursday nights, and then we do a pre-market show at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. So be sure to tune in at 7 a.m. because we will be on going through the market, and we'll get ready for that PPI and see what it's up to. And all 21 drug companies were up today, according to Michael Anthony, like Pfizer and all them guys, Moderna. And let's just see what they're up to. Here's PFE. Yeah, they are looking pretty good. What about that CNC? Because I was keeping an eye on that. There you go. That was looking really good, Michael Anthony. You might want to keep an eye on that CNC. Had that dip and rip kind of look. It did pull back there, and then bam, there you go. So I would say that's pretty good. And you want to see Moderna's MNRA, right? Or mRNA. That's it. mRNA. That's it. mRNA Moderna. And actually, Moderna's looking pretty good right there, guys. So might want to keep an eye on that one too. So there you go, everybody. In HB, Michael Anthony, Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez, Cadence, Robin, and everybody else. Camden Evans was hanging out. And Joe P was up there. And of course, Doge Mama 9. And did I say Luis Rodriguez? Probably, but I think I got to everybody, and everybody else tuned in. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. So be sure to tune in for the morning, and we'll get ready to rock and roll. And then tomorrow night, we'll have Nader on at 9 p.m. Last time he came on, he gave us FFIA, is it? Or FFIE? What is it now? I forget what the heck it even is. Future Faraday. What the heck is it? FFAI? FFAI. That's what it is. It used to be FFIE. Now it's FFAI. That's what it is. And no problem, HB. He gave us this one, and it ran 100%. And look at this thing. This one's setting back up again. So we'll have fun with Nader and the whole Trend Spider. And again, I think he has a special for everybody. I don't want to misquote him, but he did send something to me. I'll talk to him tomorrow, and I'll just let him talk about it. But I think they have a special for everybody to try it out, at least for like a week or something for free. I forget exactly. I did read it, but you know my brain and my memory, so I don't want to misquote that. But he does have something really good in mind, and for everybody. And again, he's going to go through because they just launched this Sidekick thing. It's brand new. I was playing with it the last 2 days here, and it is pretty cool. So I'm sure it'll keep getting better and better. It goes through and picks out like different things from CNBC and this and that. So interesting stuff. And obviously keeping up with the times because AI is everything nowadays. So if you're not into it, clearly you're going to be left behind. So Trend Spider, they're keeping up with the times, keeping up with it. And I'll tell you what, between FinViz, they're all guys. You know, we got them to change the times from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. I'm still not sure what's wrong with the nighttime candle, but whatever, we can work around that. That's not the end of the world. And ever since that, they just went nonstop making this platform so much better. I'm not gonna lie. Like even the crypto, everything they did, they made so much better, guys. Like the charts, they have the map like that now. They didn't have that. The charts, I can run through this like extremely fast and see everything. And then obviously you have it like that. We go through each one individually like this. Then they pop them up like that. I love the futures looks up here. It helps out. The currencies right here, I run through. It gives me an idea. USD's been pulling back. Remember, it was ripping up there. So that's why you see your markets turn around. I look at the gold and the silver, and these guys have been, and copper's going to get cruising, guys. I meant to mention that before. I was paying attention to it. Look at this big dip in copper. Laptop Travel, what are some copper stocks? I'm not even sure, but we got to pick some of these guys out because copper looks like it's about to get wild. I have no idea. Hold on. I meant to mention that before. What are good? That's Cooper. That's how you spell copper, right? No, it's like this. Holy cow, I am. Here we go. And let's see some copper ones. Let me see this ICOP. We'll look at that, and then COPX. We'll look at that one. ICOP. That one's getting set up right there. And what did I say? COPX, maybe? Did I say that? Yes, cool. And that has that same look too. And yeah, so copper is looking good. Laptop travels on it right there. And like I said, I just love what they did here because it makes it so much easier. The indices, I can look real quick, see what's going on. Your VIX has been just cruising down there. Energy, you can tell what's happening with that, guys. And here's your oils and your natural gases, and that thing's way down there. Here's your gasoline, and this thing looks like it wants to get cruising, and so does your heating oil. So I would say heating and gas, I don't know what's going on, but all of these guys look like they want to get ripping. I pay attention to the bonds now, never used to, but you could see they ripped up, pulled back. They're going back up, and then they'll pull back a little bit. They're kind of easy to read, I think. And then you had all this good stuff. Remember when lumber was like super high, and now look at it, it's coming way down. And orange juice was way up there too. I remember a couple weeks ago, and that dipped down. So maybe even play some of these commodities because we could do that. And there's your metals again. So yeah, and you even have your cattle and your feeder cattle and your lean hogs are way down. So there you go, everybody. And there's some good ones. All right, let's look at them real quick. They're all linked together, but let's see. FC, what does it say? FCX, I think. Was that there's a copper one. There you go. Oh, you know what I'll do? Laptop travel. Now that you found one, I can look at the rest of them right here because I didn't even know what they were. But now we have one. Let's just go through. So ready? This one right there has a weird look, like it's setting up. That one's been cruising up a little bit. That one just popped up clearly. IE not looking too bad right there. MTAL, that one looked like it just kind of is like a shell company. This one's not looking bad right there. TGB, that looks like it wants to run. And then let me take a look and see what you have right there. FCX right here was a copper one. And that's getting set up for sure. And TECK, Tech Resources. And that thing's getting set up. So, yeah, you got some good ones right here. I'm telling you, copper's looking good for some reason. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's going on. And that one's getting set up. You can clearly see that. FM right here. I'm not sure what that is. I don't see anything as FM. We'll come back to that. ERO copper, right? Oh, that's a nice setup. Holy cow, look at that one. ERO, that's looking good. Copper. Let me write copper down because I'll forget. And let's see. You owned FCX for about 30 plus years. What is that again? Oh, yeah, that's a copper basic material one. Wow, that's pretty wild. And it's looking pretty good, I must say. FCX, Freeport McMoran or something. I've never even heard of it. So there you go. And what else do we have here? ERO, COPX. I think we looked at that one real quick already. Global X Miners. Yeah, that one was looking good. ICOP and then CPER right here. So, and that one, nice. Oh man, look at that one getting set up. Holy cow, that looks really good too. So there you go with your copper. So yeah, I do like what Fenviz did as well. So I would say best two tools in the game right here in your shed are going to be Finviz and clearly TrendSpider. They give you the most bang for your buck. Clearly, I'm a paid subscriber for both of them, Finviz Elite, and I have the TrendSpider. And yeah, they just help you out big time. So there you go. And I would say that's a pretty good market review right there. And we'll be keeping copper on the list, that's for sure. So we'll be looking at that. And there you go until 7 a.m. and we'll be looking at some copper ones. That's pretty wild. And again, I love what they did. They made it really easy to go through the market and see what's going on. You can easily see everything and get a good quick look. And that's all I like to do is get a quick look, and then we can break things down after that. And so yeah, and that FCX, I don't know if it's going to give me the max on here to be honest, it doesn't. I don't know how to even get that on here. To be honest, I just get the daily. I think I'd have to change it or something. I'm not exactly sure. Laptop travel, but I'll have to look. I can look at it on a different chart. I'll have to look at it for you and check it out because I can only imagine that it's way down there where you probably got it like $4. Yeah, look at that thing is down at like $5 and way down there. It's been bouncing around, but I'm sure you did get it pretty damn cheap down there. That's for sure. So there you go with FCX and copper looking good. And there's that market for us for tonight. So thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. We'll be back at 7 a.m. That's for sure. And we'll go through the market, see what's going on. We'll pick out the poppers. Keep your eye on crypto because it's getting ripping again. And keep your eye on Ripple because it wants to rip up some more right there. And I would say that's a good one for this evening. So thanks again, everybody. I'll catch you guys in the morning and be sure to have a good night and get some rest there. And in the 4 a.m.ers, be sure to check out Laptop Travel in the Discord letter or note because he's been crushing it in there. I'll tell you that at 4 a.m. And I'm looking forward to getting on at 4 a.m. with him because it's going to be crazy. So there you go. So something to look forward to in like a week or two, probably 2-3 weeks from now when the summer ends. So there you are. And that's why I'm changing the show until 8 p.m. So if we get done an hour earlier, we can wrap things up, get some rest, and be up early to take advantage of the market. So good night, everybody. And I'll catch you guys in the morning.